upcoming, quite a few.
Most of them are in Florida.
Yeah,
It's our biggest area, and most of them are in Southwest Florida.
Yeah. So that was our slide from the Naples Veg Fest that happened last Sunday.
You have one in Raleigh?
We did.
Yes, so you know people in Raleigh?
That's where my 40-year-old brother lives.
Okay, well, I wish I knew before, because we just did that in, what was it? Late October, it was a Halloween day, actually, the 31st of October. We were in, if you know Raleigh, downtown Moore Square, right in the center of downtown. We rented the whole park, and we had all kinds of people going by. We had the video wall out there. We had actually Dr. Bernard from PCRM doing a virtual presentation there. And it was better than we thought it was going to be. It was
It's a beautiful area, too.
yeah,
A
so.
lot of support for this kind of stuff around here.
Yes, and I'd say our biggest area is, as I mentioned, Southwest Florida is our biggest area by far, all right? But Raleigh is a close second. In that area, we have 2 events every year over there, and then the DC area, we're also there as well. And we've got a lot of different connections through the people that we know in these areas that benefit all of the events, really.
Yeah. At the Raleigh Veg Fest 3, the food trucks ran out of food. So you know it was a good event. Yeah. So restaurant events, we have some upcoming. Some of the ones I mentioned here are not in this area, but quite a few of them are. Like La Miraja, there's an event this Saturday.
This weekend, Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, and at the Spice Club
Spice Club,
on
that's
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, but I have another slide for that. So we also have a YouTube channel. There are some people here that already follow aPlantBasedDiet.org and our videos, but you'll see us like just visiting different vegan restaurants and reviewing their food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so what kind of content is on our YouTube channel? Yeah, we're traveling all the time, as you may imagine, doing all these events. So wherever we go and get food, we get plant-based food. And so we have a video, we make a video of every restaurant we go to, we show you what we get. So if you want to, search up a restaurant, we've been to most of the restaurants around here, and we're getting food. It's on our YouTube channel. You can see what to order and what to do. And then, of course, interviews, right? Like Dr. Borja, who's our lifestyle medicine director. I got lots of interviews with him talking about different health subjects. Dr. Bernard, I'm going to do that video with him this weekend. There's all kinds of informational stuff there that might benefit you.
So here is our local vegan group, SWFL.org. If you haven't joined already, we encourage you to join, and you can post in this group.
Yeah, and remember back in the beginning here, tonight I mentioned that I started out the nonprofit because I didn't know anybody. And I also started in social media groups. This was one of the first ones I started with 2 people. And I don't know if you can see how many people are in there now. There's like 5,300, I think, something like that. So, yeah, so this group basically is a vegan group, all right? And it talks about anything, literally anything, that doesn't involve animal products, okay? It's not necessarily focused on any of the 3 aspects, but all of them, people, animals, and our planet. So it's a very broad group, but it's all local stuff, okay? So if you want to find out about anything that doesn't involve animal products locally, get on here. You got to be on Facebook, because that's where it is. But whenever you type that URL in, veganswfl.org, it'll take you straight to this group and you can join. So just know that. And then there's another group. You want to show the next slide? Okay, this is the one that we have that's local, that's focused specifically on human health. Like if all you're concerned about is human health, you want to make sure to join this group too, or just join this one only, because it's SWFLlifestyle.org. So if you type in SWFLlifestyle.org on your browser, it'll take you straight to this group. There's about 1,000 people in this one. This is all local, okay? And why do we call it SWFL Lifestyle? It's because of lifestyle medicine. Like everything we're talking about, eating plant-based, is based in the concepts of lifestyle medicine. Are you guys familiar with what lifestyle medicine is? Raise the hand just so I can see. Okay, so it basically is talking about how the lifestyle you choose, the habits you have, and specifically and most importantly, the food that you put in your mouth has the absolute greatest positive impact potentially on your health. And that's really what we're talking about in this group, local things that deal with that. So if you're interested in that, please join the group. Oh, 7, okay. Okay, this is a new thing that's on the website. We're going to run through this quickly. Intentional communities. Are you guys familiar with an intentional community? I mean, we're in a community here, but an intentional community. You guys ever heard of this? Okay. They're private communities. It's kind of like a co-op form of real estate where you actually have to apply to be able to buy, all right? And it's legal. And because what they want to do is have people of like mind join a community. These communities here, this is one called Terra Frutis, it's in Ecuador. We're involved with them now because we're seeing that just as I started this nonprofit back in 2014, I wanted to find like-minded people. There are now like-minded people that are living together in community, very specific like-minded. Like these folks are all plant-based. They're mostly raw eaters. You guys know what raw is? Eating raw? You're eating food that's not cooked, right? And plants, specifically, you're eating plants that are not cooked. But that's not a requirement. I'm just telling you that they're mostly raw, but they're almost all fully organic. Like you mentioned earlier, they don't want to be eating chemicals. They don't want to put chemicals in their plants. And they're living in a permaculture community. Are you guys familiar with what permaculture is?
I have a cousin who teaches.
Teaches permaculture?
In Europe.
Okay, it's kind of the polar opposite of agriculture, right? Because agriculture, you plow a field and you knock all the trees down and then you plant and replant every year. You turn the soil over. You're constantly causing destruction on some level. Permaculture is you design your food forest, okay? Because this is designed to feed people, and you plant all your different variety of foods and plants that you're going to eat, and then you just plant it once, and then you just maintain it. And it becomes the most ecologically friendly way to garden and to grow your own food. So these guys are all growing their own food too. That's what I want to point out. This is a whole lifestyle. They have said, this is our lifestyle, and this is what we're doing. And their goal is to be self-sufficient. They're not quite there yet, but we are in this. So we want to show the next slide. So we're building a tiny house in that community, Terra Frutis. This is what it looks like right now. Actually, I have some more pictures that are updated. And if you want to see them, go to our website, click on Intentional Communities, and you'll see the link to view the progress of our tiny house. And if you guys want, you can visit there. It'll be like an Airbnb, okay? And this will be like the nicest facility there, too, the nicest home. It's going to have like a full stainless steel kitchen with granite, full tile bathroom. It's going to have upstairs, it's going to be 2 bedrooms with a view of the mountains, if you can see over there, right? And we're way up on the mountain, too. This is all like in the Andes Mountains, in the Amazon rainforest, which is the most diverse area of plants and animals in the world. And we'd never even been to Ecuador until 2 years ago. But what attracted me is that there's these people that are so into this lifestyle, right, that they want their whole life designed around it. And ideally, we'd love to see everyone eventually do that everywhere. But for right now, this is what we have. Right? Okay, and then if you want to experience it, we're going to be there. Amazon Fruit Festival. It takes place in the Terra Frutis community. It happens every year in the Amazon rainforest in that community. We've been there for the last 2 years. We're planning to go again. It's in January. You can still get tickets if you feel like you want to go. Get on the plane, take a 4-hour bus ride in the mountains, which is really like something you've never done before, unless you've done that. We never did it until recently. And then when you get there, you're out in the middle of nowhere with people that are into this lifestyle. It's really cool, you know. And they have events all week. It's so much less money than you'd ever think, too, because we all know that the inflation that's happened recently here. Price of real estate's ridiculous. Price of everything's going up, right? This is a lot. If you investigate this, the cost, it's a lot less than you would think just to go to this event. Yeah, we have a discount code. I think. Is it on the website? Okay. Yeah. So hopefully I'm telling you guys something new that you didn't know about too, because most people don't know about this stuff. Okay, here's another one. This is another community in Ecuador near Terra Frutis called Fruit Haven Eco Village. It's a much larger community, and actually we have bought a farm there. And we are in the process of subdividing it, developing it. And when I say developing, it's not like your suburban development around here. It is all meeting these requirements. You can see it's like 70 acres, Fruit Haven 9 is what we bought. And all these other lands are part of the Fruit Haven community. This is over 70 acres right here. So these are hundreds and hundreds of acres. And they're all going to be eventually cut into lots of about 1.5 acres in size. That's all you need. You don't need any more than that to grow your own food, believe it or not. Like all your food. Especially in Ecuador, because it's the same temperature all year round, 12 hours of sunlight all year round. It rains on a regular basis. You have natural sunlight. You don't need to irrigate anything. Like around here, you got to irrigate everything, right? Because there's a crazy dry season. It's like a desert here in the wintertime. That doesn't happen in Ecuador. So anyway, that's a place that you can buy some of our lots if you want to. If you have any interest. It's, again, way less than you would think. Way less. Anybody can afford this. Yeah, the weather is, it was like, what, 55 and 85, I think, every single day. And usually doesn't even get to 55. But you're at an elevation of like 2,700 feet above sea level. You're in the Andes Mountains. So you're not low like here. That's one of the reasons why the weather is variable here. And there's no hurricanes. No hurricanes in Ecuador. Okay, this is what we're doing locally too. Kind of piggybacking, or that's not a plant-based term, but this is what we're doing locally. Denise and I have been designing our own house since January of this year. This is what it looks like. Does anybody have any idea why it looks like this? Because it looks kind of weird, right? The roof line. If you look at the one on the left. Yeah, it's solar, because what you're looking at is the western view, which happens to be the front of the house. So the southern side is over here. So we wanted as much of the roof as possible facing south, so that we can produce all our electricity, and actually more than we need. That was the goal of this. And in addition to that, we're in the middle of designing not only the house, which we've not even broken ground on yet. It's outside of Fort Myers, just over in Lee County. And we're going to design a permaculture food forest as the entire landscape. The only grass we're going to have is going to be over the septic system, because that's required by law, and we don't want to plant any trees or anything there. But the goal also here is locally to show that you can have a house that's completely self-sustainable. We're going to be on grid because you have to be, actually, in Florida. I don't know if you realize this. I didn't realize this. You have to be connected to the electric service. Off-grid's illegal in Florida. I don't know why, because like I said, we're going to produce more electricity than we need with this house design. It doesn't take much, but the problem is most houses are not designed to optimize solar, right? They're designed to look good from the front. So the challenge we had when we went to an architect and designer was make it look good. We want that shed roof, but we want it to look good. So I don't know if you guys like it or not, but this is what it's going to look like. It looks way better than I thought it would when we started. I thought it was going to look like a lean-to shed, on the side. Yeah. So that's what we're doing locally. So you'll be able to see that as we progress with that. You will hear about that. You'll see it on our social media. It's just been under wraps because we've been taking like a year to design it. Okay, and this is our newest nonprofit. We started another nonprofit because, as I mentioned, ultimately we believe this plant-based lifestyle is based in science. It's based in evidence. It's based in health. And it's all about the concepts of lifestyle medicine. So we have a super high level nonprofit that we have really not even gotten into. We started it 2 years ago. It's called lifestylemedicine.love. That's a web address. LOVE stands for Local Organic Vegan Eating. Okay, that's Dr. Rao of Climate Healers actually coined that term. We use it with his permission. But so it's lifestylemedicine.love. And we're going to eventually certify foods and other activities that are health promoting through this nonprofit, but they will be much higher level stuff. Because, well, actually, you have more slides, right? We'll tell you why here in a second.
Higher level, maybe more strict.
There's a reason why. But you can also donate and help us get that nonprofit off the ground by by helping us through Amazon Smile. You guys familiar with that? Whenever you go to a link, well, that link is on our website under Give or under lifestylemedicine.love. Lifestylemedicine.love is not its own site, it's just a tab on our aPlantBasedDiet.org site. As long as you go through there and click through it, every time you buy something, we will get money, which will be great because we have no money for that nonprofit. but we think that eventually everyone will be focused on that. Okay, this is why we're doing that. We think that eventually, literally everyone's going to be doing this. That's what we think. And that is our Instagram. It's actually plantbasedevents.info. We post every time we go to a restaurant, we post it there. All of our events are posted on there. If you're on Instagram, plantbasedevents.info. And that's me. I'm a lifestyle nutritionist. So if you guys are interested in anything, services, I do that from anywhere. Video chat. And this is the big deal. This is why. I don't know if you guys know. I'm started off a new V book. I call it V. It's video. Okay. I'm not doing a book where you have to buy it and read it. You go to YouTube. Actually, this is a playlist on our YouTube channel, but it's called Live to 150. Because I truly believe that with the amount of knowledge we have out there right now, that I think the average person should live to about 150 years old, or at least have the ability to live to 150 if they do everything right. And what we've talked about here tonight is just it's a general overview of all these lifestyle medicine concepts, and I think when you bring them all together, what you get is better benefits than you ever thought possible. Because we already know that the average person, life expectancy is like 75, 80 years old, something like that. And we also know that even from some of the concepts we've discussed here tonight, most people don't follow them, right? I mean, so think about this. If you really got serious about this and started to follow all these concepts, constantly educate yourself, learn about what's best, and have a group of people, like positive peer pressure. Like I was saying, we can't do this alone. We have to all work together. I think that everyone should be able to have that kind of that expectation of, I'm going to live to 150. It's not going to be I'm incapacitated and sick constantly once I get to 100. It's going to be like a real life up to that point in time, So I'm 51, we're both 51. I figure we got another almost 100 years left, 99 more years. It's kind of crazy, but I'm willing to learn. That's the thing. All you need is a spirit of willingness to learn. And I do think that no one's ever done this kind of stuff long term, right? We don't know. Just like we don't know the long-term effects of any pharmaceutical, but we're willing to take them, okay? And our goal too, actually, by the way, is to not ever have to be on any maintenance medications. We don't think they're necessary unless you have a very specific genetic condition, which we do, or injury, okay? Which we totally, these are completely valid, but most of it, habits, lifestyle, it's all preventable. And that's what I'm thinking. That's the book, the 250. So I only have 4 chapters out, but if you subscribe to the YouTube, you'll get the chapters. Once I get out of the event season, and back in the summer, there'll be more chapters on it, lots more. This is Plant Pure Food that Denise talked about earlier. That's what it looks like. This is the talk that we gave here tonight. This is the event you were talking about, okay, in Fort Myers. This is, I would highly recommend, if you guys like Indian food, I love Indian food, okay? This event is this Sunday. It's at Spice Club in Fort Myers. I know it's a little bit of a drive from here, but it's worth it. They usually have Paul's been there, right? They usually have I say between 10 to 15 or more, right, on dishes, right, out there in that spread. They're all completely plant-based. They all have no added oil, and I've talked to them this time. I talked to Dylan, the manager. I said, please put as little salt in there as possible. Because with Indian food, you don't need salt, really. They got all the spices in there, right? I mean, it's all about the plants and the spices with Indian food, and they know what they're doing. There'll be a little bit of salt in there. There'll be salt shakers, you can always add it, but that's my request to him. So that's what's going to happen at this event. It's all you can eat. I think it's like $20 a head, right? All you can eat. So just don't eat dinner Saturday night if you want. Take a little intermittent fast. Don't eat anything during the day Sunday, and just show up and eat all you want. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to eat like crazy on that at that meal. And then this is at La Moraga here in Naples. We partner with them every month. We do a chef-driven event where they come up with new dishes every single month. It's usually a weekend of meals, Friday and Saturday dinner. You can make a reservation or just show up anytime between 4 to 9 p.m. It's happening this weekend. We're going to be there on Saturday, I think probably earlier. We're going to do a live video in case you want to, because since it's all made up every month, like created by the chef, unique dishes, we don't have pictures, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go make a live video on our social media so you can see what it looks like. Probably shortly before 4 p.m. on Saturday, we're going to be there. And it's delicious. That's all I got to tell you. If you guys have ever been there, have you ever been to La Moraga? And this is all plant-based. I mean, and it's definitely worth doing. It's definitely a date night, high-end type of a dinner experience, right? That's what this is. Just to show that this kind of food is desirable even in that type of a situation. And then here, this is what we talked about, the Plants at the Table. This is our next Plants at the Table. Is going to be on Saturday, December 11th. It's at Farmer Mike's. It's a ticketed event. We highly recommend you get tickets before it sells out. And as I told you, what it is you're out there in the fields at Farmer Mike's where they're growing the plants, right? You're going to have a dinner that's cooked out there. Chef Lily and actually Chef Don. Everybody knows Don from what's it? Food and Thought, right? You guys been there? He's not with them anymore, actually. He's available with Farmer Mike's, and he's going to be helping us out to prepare this meal. Okay, I've been meeting with them once a week. It's going to be an amazing experience. It's about, I think it's $70 a ticket, and it's our annual like a fundraiser and an update. I mean, we're going to give them some updates too about some of the things we have planned with Farmer Mike's. And of course, Dr. Tuttle will be there. This is how you find out about our Plants at Table events. You go to plants2table.org. That URL will send you to a tab on our website where you can see we actually do 3 of them a year. One in the DC area, one here in Southwest Florida, and one up in Ocala, Gainesville. So go to the one in Union Springs, Southwest Florida. When you go to plants2table.org, you can buy tickets right there through Eventbrite. We don't have the menu up yet, but I'm meeting with Chef Lily and Don next Wednesday, and we will post the the menu after that. And it's gonna be mostly plants that are grown on the farm, that are in season, that are picked right before our meal and prepared right there in the field. So it's a totally unique experience. And Dr. Tuttle will be there too. If you don't know him, you will be glad you have known about him when you go to that event. That's something to say.
This is the last slide, so if you haven't signed up for our email list and you'd still like to, you can always send an email to aPlantBasedDiet.org at gmail.com and put events in the subject line, and we'll add you to our newsletter.
Yeah, and I want to mention that email list is just for plant-based events. You're not going to hear from anybody. We don't sell them any. We want to build the list. Actually, I'll tell you, the list has 7,600, I think, email addresses on there. It's getting bigger and bigger. And that's why we have all these events. We're very glad, because when I started this, 2014, we didn't even have a festival. We didn't have anything going on. It was just the hope that one day we would have an event. And now we have like many events. So, you know, I just want to make sure you're assured if you give us your email address, that's all you're going to hear about from us. Nothing else. And that's our talk. I think that's what we have for you tonight. And I also want to mention, I know that, Paul, I'm talking to you, that you all have a group here at the community, and we would love to partner with events going forward. And of course, we want to talk about any questions you have now, any discussions. Question?
If you take a B complex, would you get enough B12? I mean, how much do you need of B12?
Yeah, that's the only thing that most of the doctors will suggest that you take. And I would just recommend just a straight up B12 pill, right? They just have the isolate of B12 and nothing else. You don't even need the other ones, as long as you're eating a variety of plants.
How high a dose?
Well, let's see.
Couple weeks.
Yeah. It depends on what the bottle that you get. It usually tells you right on there. But yeah, a couple a week, a couple days a week is probably that's sufficient. Yes.
Is not nutritionist really substitute?
Yeah. Well, that's awesome because yeah. I mean, well, you mean for B12 or for just cheese or okay? Yeah. If it's supplemented with it, yes. But that's it. That's the critical. Like Denise mentioned earlier. Dr. Campbell has shown that taking supplements actually causes cancer. It truly does, which shocked me when I heard that. Like, I thought these things were supposed to benefit you. But the truth is there's almost no regulation in the supplement industry. You have no idea what you're taking. It's totally on faith, and it's probably going to cause cancer. Okay, at least that's the finding of Dr. T. Colin Campbell. And that's all he does is research this stuff. So, but B12 is the only thing you really need to take, as long as you're eating a well-balanced plant-based diet.
And also, a lot of the meat substitutes are now actually incorporating B12 into the products themselves, aren't they?
They are? Yeah, some of the stuff is fortified, yes. But the meat substitutes in general, I know Paul and I were talking about this, they're more, we view them as transition products, okay?
Yeah.
Like if you were to live to 150, you don't want to make that a staple of your diet. You want to use it to get off the animal products. We've all been trained to eat animal products. We all have, right? I've been brainwashed, I'll tell you, my parents thought, when I first went plant-based, they thought there was something wrong with me. But the more time that goes on, you realize this is the way everybody should be. So they're a great tool, but don't depend on them. That's what I would say, long term. Don't depend on them long term. Yes?
Does your website have a list of restaurants in this area, like Naples, Bonita?
We do not. Yeah, we've had some requests for that, but I will tell you the groups that we have, the local groups on Facebook. Are you on Facebook? Because if you are, you're not. Yeah, Well, just subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to our newsletter. We put out different things about restaurants, and maybe we'll develop a resource like that as we get more folks involved. For right now, it's just the Facebook groups that people kind of talk about that. There's a conversation about restaurants in those groups. Yeah.
Are you familiar with Happy Cow?
Happy Cow, yes. Denise uses that.
Yeah, I think for a nominal fee you can download an app to your phone called Happy Cow. I think it's $1, but it's not as popular as it was anymore. I think before the pandemic it hit a peak, and now when we want to find a plant-based restaurant, we just do a Google search and we'll find more stuff that way than we will with Happy Cow. But one advantage to Happy Cow is other people who have already tried their food will give you an honest opinion of the restaurant there. It usually has photos too, so you know what's best.
Yeah, that's true.
That website too, it's not just that.
What's that?
They have a website too, it's not.
Oh,
just-
website, okay.
Yeah.
And what I do, yeah, I don't use Happy Couch, but I gave my friend Denise, but she does. I will just go on my phone, or you can do it on a desktop or laptop, pull up your maps, whatever program you use, like I have used Google Maps, but you can use any of them. And in the search bar, I'll just hover over an area that I want to see, I'll type in vegan restaurant, and everything pops up, and I'll just start to investigate from there, and I'll just click on them and look at it, and that's how I find restaurants. So we're traveling all the time, that's how I find restaurants.
I will give you a fair warning, when you do a search for vegan restaurants, if they serve the impossible there, that now classifies that restaurant as a vegan.
It does,
restaurant.
yeah.
So,
Well, it is
you
plant-based.
kind of be careful with
Well,
it.
it's all plants in an Impossible Burger.
It is, but it's not healthy plants.
Yeah, that's right. It's not. It's processed. It's just like any processed food. I mean, the reality is, the problem with processed food is there's many layers to that. We can get into a whole talk just on that, but it's just basically junk food. You know, anything, and your body doesn't really recognize it as food, and it has all kinds of negative reactions. And that's also something I wanted to mention too. Just a general concept. I'm not giving any medical advice. I don't. I just tell people what to eat. And I'll tell you that for the most part, when you've got a health issue, let's say you go to the doctor and they say, well, you got to get on this medication for this, whatever. If it's a lifestyle issue, in my mind, it's usually your body telling you you're doing something wrong. So all you have to do is figure out what it is, and then usually once you give your body the right conditions, it will heal itself. You know, and this I didn't understand this early on either. It's taken me a while, but I truly believe this at this point in time. The body wants to be in balance, the body wants to be optimal, and it wants to heal. But you have your own mind, and you can choose what to do, and unfortunately, we've all been trained wrong, okay? That's just a fact. We've all been trained wrong, unless you were raised whole food, plant-based, organic. I don't know anybody that was. So we've got to retrain ourselves so that we put the right things in our mouth, and most of the time that resolves almost all issues. So, yeah, any other questions? Yeah. Well, we still got some.
Yeah, do you need help?
Yes, we love volunteer help. Yes, yes, absolutely help. And like I said, everyone, even if you don't want to get into a formal volunteering with us, which we'd love to have some regular volunteers, we do, and we'd love to have more. Just talk to your restaurants, right? The biggest thing that we need help with right now is go out to your restaurants, go out to your grocery stores, tell them, go to healthyveganfood.info and give me one of those, have that on your menu. I want something to buy that is truly, you know, health food. And once they see the demand, once they hear it from a bunch of people, not just me, because I'm talking to them all the time, you know, but I'm only one person. But yeah, we can talk after. Yeah, anybody wants to talk to us after about anything, please do. You know, I think that's probably all the questions, right? Yeah, I mean, so otherwise, thank you for being here. And spread the word, spread the message to everyone.
Yeah, that's it. The younger you are, the more likely.
When my granddaughter does something wrong at school, where she starts acting up, her mother threatens to send her to my place where we have to take a break. Yeah.
This is supercharge number 2086. Are we overdressed for the supercharger?
No,
How's your jacket?
it looks fine from this view, but if you look down, I've got a full dress on with this jacket. Well, it's black, you can't tell me. Maybe it'll pass for a